know this is spur of the moment review, but guys, I'm sorry. It's just time. It's been terrible. Again, going to the game tonight. So again, I apologize. Can't do the watch along, but just want to talk about a few things. Got a few things to talk about regarding matchups, key matchups, some statistical things, how the Pacers will go out and play against us tonight, or how there's some precedent with how they play us. So, and again, I'll be leaving at 6. My coworker keeps bugging me. I can't literally do any work because he keeps bugging me every time I sit down and try to do any freaking work. If I get up, it's Knicks faces. Oh Jesus, I get it. Can I freaking do work? Can I just if I make a comment? Knicks is like, all right. It's a cool dude, but it's like, Lord, let's chill out, man. This is it's gonna be a great game. But let's chill out. But suits everyone in the chat, man. I know people have not dropped in yet. And again, this is spur of the moment. I apologize, guys. People were like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" But yeah, man. Knicks versus Pacers, man. The team that we've struggled against this regular season. I believe they're 2-1 against us this season. A team that's been able to use their fast break offense to kind of bully us in the sense, or kind of bludgeon us. Also had some games like the one we played in Indiana where no one could hit shots outside of Dante DiVincenzo. So this is a team in Rick Carlisle, well coached team. Some things I want to point out that I've watched with them. Excuse me, that I've seen from them. When I watch some of the games, so just to get down to the basics again, this is one of the teams that have one of the best offenses in the league. Before Pascal, they're like the number one offense. I think they were averaging like 125 points a game or something like that. Pascal come, I think they're number two in points per game. I still want to say they're number one in offensive rating, if I remember. They're number two in points per game at like 121 per game. But if you look at their offense pre Pascal, very nuanced offense. Like people just think that they run the floor. That's not the case. And there's some articles that also point this out too. They run a lot of motion concepts, staggered screens, a lot of Spain pick and roll, a lot of weak side action, whether you're setting screens for boy handlers to come up free from off the top of the key. Very nuanced offense. I know it sounds crazy, but if you watch them, a very nuanced offense. Reject the Spain pick and roll. A lot of fun things you see from teams like the Kings as well too. Now, when you see Pascal Siakam now, granted, every team. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't have a cough. All the elite teams, you need, your go-to scorers. You need your guys you could dump it off to and execute. You see it with the Warriors. Even with the Warriors, after they lost to LeBron James, they realized, look, we can't. It can't just be us with the spread motion concepts and not excuse me, with the motion concepts, triangle concepts. We got to have a go-to scorer. We're trying to run the floor. Just fast break offenses just don't cut it for the most part in the playoffs, right? Just by themselves. That's why they got KD. And I'm not saying Pascal's KD, not at all. But when you watch what their offense tries to do with Pascal Siakam, a lot of dump offs in the post, a lot of handoffs from the top of the key, a lot of stuff that Sabonis was actually doing with the last coach, Bjorkgren, before he went to the Kings, or the second to last coach, because he had, I think Bjorkgren got fired, and there's another. I'm forgetting the other coach. Was it Carlisle? Sabonis stay with Carlisle, but whatever. I remember when Bjorkgren was there's a lot of dribble handoffs and whatnot. So a lot of actions where Pascal's taking it from the wing and attacking. When you read about the offense, is a little bit of struggle, obviously a little bit of transition for Pascal once he got to the Pacers offense. So I think they simplified, kind of dumbed it down for him, allow him to attack in the spots in the paint in the post. But they still, again, they run a relatively nuanced offense for the most part. Still a lot of stagger screens. Even though I will say I've seen a lot more. Now, granted, I'm not sure if it's because he's come off the hamstring injury, but I've seen Halliburton play a lot from top. Now, Halliburton's never historically, even from college, has never been a guy to be able to create a high free throw drawer in terms of getting into the paint. It's not his game. He's relatively quick. He can create, but he has always historically had issues attacking off the dribble, playing 1v1, and being that creator that can basically take you off the dribble. Right now, obviously, he's been a lot better these past few years, especially with the Pacers this season. But again, watch for the Pacers to try to create a lot of space for Halliburton, try to create space for their boys, because again, guys like Mathurin come on the bench, he's no longer there. They relied heavily on TJ, or relied relatively heavily on TJ McConnell in the playoffs. Against the Bucks. Now they struggle, not they struggle. Excuse me. The Bucks struggled. Didn't have Giannis. Didn't have Dame. Even though Game 4 was it? Game 4. Game 4. Game five? Game five? Game five? They lost to the Bucks by like 30 something points. But also, I watched that game. The Bucks hit every shot. Portis could not miss. Chris Middleton could not miss. Right. And to kind of get into what we could do on offense. I talked about their offense again, one of the best in the league in terms of transition. Even though the Knicks actually have more fast break points than the Pacers in the playoffs. Interestingly enough, have more fast break points than them. We don't even have in terms of points off of turnovers. We don't even rank that high. So again, look for Tom Thibodeau. Now, people might say, "Oh, well, that's going to work against the Pacers." Now, what we did with the 76ers. Now, there was one game we missed like every fast break opportunity. I think it was the last game. I think it was game 6. Last game we played, game 6. We just missed every fast break opportunity. I think it was game 6 or game 5. Can't remember. I think it was game 6. But when I watch this pace, when I watch this, I don't think is that we're just gonna be able to push the tempo against the Pacers this series, right? If it happens, it happens. Tom Thibodeau has been known to use, or at least this season, has used a fast break opportunity transition point strategically. You saw it against the first in the regular season games against the 76ers, especially the first one, beat them by 30 something. Run Embiid's legs ragged. Now, do you see it in today's game? Not necessarily sure. And they do have better protections in the paint with Pascal, who's a good help defender, and Miles Turner, who can be a very good defender in the paint. So it's gonna be as easy. I'm not sure, but so one thing I watched with the Bucks in the Bucks series that when those guys were out, when they play with when either Pascal was out or Turner was out, man, the Bucks were attacking them incessantly, getting buckets down low like it was nothing. Their defense is not great, even though they got Pascal. The Pacers' defense is not great. Now you don't have to worry about Embiid drawing fouls or whatnot. Pascal can operate in the post. He's a solid scorer in the paint. But when I look at this team, it's just they don't pose the same issues with the Embiid problem, with the foul drawing problem. We do have Zach Zerber tonight, so he's the guy that didn't give your man Embiid that flagrant two, gave him the flagrant one. I think it was a game 3. Um, so, just offensively, what I just want to provide some color. What they provide, what they do again. Naismith is a guy who can. He's gotten stronger too, but Naismith is one of 3-point scorers. A lot of dribble drive penetration kickouts, simple ones where Halliburton's not even getting deep into the paint. He's just kicking out to him. TJ McConnell as well too. TJ McConnell's a guy that he's looking to pass facilitate 90% of the time, but he'll use if you fall for it. He will attack the paint. He will make the little layup, little floater. He has a solid game, a little mid-range game as well too. Nebhart is another decent ball handler, really annoying play in a good way. I like Nebhart. But he's a guy that he can give you those gap points. He can attack the basket, can shoot a little bit, so you have to worry about him as well too. And then obviously everybody knows about Obi Toppins. Look, man, Toppin to me does not scare me. I watched him in the Bucks series. I know he had that game with the 21 points. He was feeding off the offense, man. He's gonna run the floor. We all know his game. But he's not a creator. His 3-point shooting is still, to me, I don't care what the numbers say, still erratic. The game he had 21, didn't he? He shot one beautiful 3. The next time coming down from the similar spot, aired the ish. So Obi's a guy you gotta make sure that you close out well enough on, but you already know what he wants to do. He's not good laterally. He's not gonna catch off the dribble like that. His dribble moves are very telegraphed. He likes to do a little fake dribble handoff and attack the basket. So you just gotta be careful for him. Now he tries to fight down low in the post in terms of rebound and whatnot, and he's gonna have his little fire for the Knicks tonight. But the Knicks just gotta don't let him get hot, get back on defense, and also means the Knicks also gotta play a bigger lineup. 7 guys is not gonna cut it. Tibbs. Achua has to play some minutes. There's absolutely no reason why Achua did not play minutes after that game 4. That made no sense. You were able to play small. OJ Anunoby and pressure Achua gave you a nice defensive element. Thank God we won game 6. But what Tibbs was doing in that game 5, not playing Achua, can't happen today. And again, Achua is a good lateral defender. You got some guys on that team that can move like now. You have guys like Isaiah Jackson and whatnot, but I'm not expecting to get major minutes. Obviously, their defense is going to rely, at least in the front court, is going to rely on Pascal and Miles Turner for the most part. I wonder if Jaree's going to get some. He's not going to get some any minutes like that. But, for what we got to do offensively, look, Brunson sets the tone. He struggled. He didn't do that. He didn't do that great against. I'm forgetting how much he scored against the Pacers. I know he had in the last game in MSG. He had a good game, but for the season, I know he's shooting like 49% from the field against the Pacers, 31% from 3. I think he struggled the first two games, if I remember. I'm forgetting exactly how much. Someone in the chat could tell me what his points average is for the Pacers, but I believe he had a really good game. That was the one they were shouting out MVP, MVP, MVP. That third game against the Pacers. So I know he had a strong game the last game against the Pacers. Um, but they've given some issues. Halliburton again, and even that game that he had the really good game against the Pacers, Halliburton didn't play the whole game. Um, but he has to set the tone. Now, what I loved what Brunson did in the series against the 76ers, we talked about the bracket defense. He was able to neutralize that. Now, a weird thing, why the hell did your man Nick Nurse not keep using the bracket defense with Maxey on Brunson? Had him the first two games, struggled the first two games, did better the third game, killed the fourth game, and then stopped using Maxey. That makes no sense. Yeah, he's trying to go for Uber, but Maxey was a better defender. Anyway, I think also with the knee injury to Embiid, playing a drop back, and when Brunson started to get it going, they just tried to throw that game plan out, but that it made no sense to me. Whatever. We're done with the 76, but I wonder what the Pacers are going to deploy tonight. People talking about putting Naismith on him, but your man Brunson cooked Naismith for the season. He averaged 66.7% from the field. He took like three threes on Naismith. This is just one-on-one individual. So I'm not talking about if using screens and things of that nature. If he's a neutral defender and then he somehow gets away from Naismith using a screen, whatnot. That's what I'm talking about. But for the season, because I think it was not Jalen Rose. Was it Jalen Rose? Damn, I don't think it was Jalen Rose. It was somebody. It was somebody talking about, yo, Naismith is a better defender than Oubre, and Oubre's not as doesn't concentrate or is not as focused, and Batum. But it's like, well, yeah, but Batum wasn't the key defender. It was Maxey and Oubre. And the funny thing is that Batum probably had, if I'm recalling, because Brunson struggled in 76ers in the regular season, if I recall, Brunson had better numbers against Maxey and Oubre in the regular season than he did Batum. So a lot of these guys, they're not even watching these games, bro. We will see. But if you want to put Maxey on him, excuse me, if you want to put Naismith on him, be my guest. I think Brunson's gonna be able to adjust. Now the issue is gonna be how do the pay how Brunson's gonna look once he gets inside the paint. Now the Pacers this season in the playoffs, they actually one of the best or better. I think they ranked ninth in rim defense and 10th or something like that in 3-point defense, which again isn't great because again the number of playoff teams is lower. But 3-point defense, I know 3-point defense and 3-point defense in the playoffs and rim defense is like top 10 both, right? The place where they struggle is a mid range, but that's where you want most teams to operate from, the mid range. That's what a lot of these guys. That's what Tibbs wants you to do. That's what Carlisle wants you to do. Take the mid range shots. We'll protect the rim and we'll protect the 3-point line because the mid range shot is typically lower benefits to it, lower probability. You don't get the benefit typically of the foul, and the 3-point shot obviously use one less point. So that's what they want us to do. But then it killed them in game 5, whichever one is the last one the Bucks won, when they won by 30 without Dame and Giannis. And the guy that comes to mind is OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby, I believe, shot 44% from the mid range in the 76ers series. He showed us a new wrinkle offensively, right? And I think he had the second highest mid range percentage on the team. I think no, he had the highest or second highest. It may have been the second highest to Brunson, if I remember, or maybe the highest. I can't remember. But it's all about how he creates. Because who are they gonna put on him? You're putting Naismith on Brunson. I'm assuming Dante. You got Nebhart. I guess would be on Dante. Josh Hart, and then your front court. You got iHart will probably get Pascal. OG will get OG will get Pascal. Turner will get iHeart. Um, and so OG and Pascal, and again, obviously former teammates. How does he create against Pascal? Now, Pascal again is a better help defender than he is 1v1. But again, the size and length pose that could be an issue against OG. But it's all about how can OG create? Do you start create screens and do the whole screen game to get OG open? And again, OG's game has been relatively, in terms of how he's getting to his spots, has been a little bit ugly, man. He's just dribbling, just slow man dribble, get to the foul line, to the pinch post, and then shoot the little mid range jumper, right? That's gonna factor into, again, how much space is in the paint. Because again, Embiid, I would say it's probably easier to attack Embiid, to put pressure on Embiid, as crazy as it sounds, than it will be to put it on Pascal and Turner once they end the game, right? Another thing too, man, rebounding. The Pacers are terrible at rebounding. One of the worst in the league. I think they're getting a ranking 20. I'm forgetting a ranking for rebounding, but that bodes well into our favor, right? Offensive rebounding for us, second chance opportunity, especially with a smaller lineup. Um, Definitely bodes well for us, right? This team that wants to get out and run, stop those second chance opportunities with good defensive sound, defensive rebounding. That's where Josh Hart comes into play. Josh Hart comes into play just period. We talk about the key guys, bro. Shoot to my brother Ralph in the building says, "What's up, Gmo? Great live stream. I appreciate you, bro." And again, guys, I apologize, man. I wish I could have done this, man. I was out on Saturday with my brother Ace and my other brother Brandon doing some film, doing some interviews on the street. And it's on me. I forgot something had to go back, and we all over the place. But we got some good stuff coming that's about to come out. So please stay tuned for that. I'm actually edited one of the videos. Again, if there are any video editors out there that want to help me, please let me know. I will pay. I will pay. And please hit the likes. I see 8 likes, man. We got 45 people watching, which is a lot for a stream like this. I appreciate you, but please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Um, yeah, any videos editors out there, let me know. I will pay. I need a go-to video editor that I could just give videos to. You edit it, bang, bang, and we out. Versus me spending time on it. And I got work. I got so many things to do, and I don't want to deprive this channel of any more potential content I could do. Cause I had a whole thing for this freaking preview, and I just didn't have time to do it. Right? Some of that's on me, but yeah. So where was I? Where was I? I was talking about OG and Anunoby, talking about Josh Hart. Yeah. So some of the key matches: Brunson versus Naismith, right? And how do they adjust from there, right? We understand that Brunson. Look, he's an end all be all. He's a guy who's been able to adjust to the bracket defense. He's our engine. Without him, now granted, we won the first 2 games against the 76 without him, which bodes well, which speaks well to the depth on our team, right? Or the guys, not I'm saying depth, but the guys who stepped up, right? Josh Hart had a great game. Dante in that last game, Brunson had a great game 6. Dante stepped up big. He's another guy. His outside shooting, we're gonna need it because again, the gravity that Brunson creates, right? All the defensive attention that'll be put on him. Dante's going to have a lot of opportunities, especially against a guy like Naismith. Naismith's a good defender. He's a solid all around player, right? But we talking about tag defense and guys getting caught up in the gravity by Brunson. Dante has to come alive. And Dante had a strong game. I think the second game was it this season, the regular season killed. Well, we lost, but I think he had like 29 against the Pacers in that second game. Um, so it'll be up to. So it'll be going off. So yeah, I wonder. So you have Naismith on Jalen. You'd have Halliburton on Dante. Oh no, you have Naismith on Dante. You have Josh. You have Josh Hart on Halliburton, right? And that's where Josh has to come in because Halliburton, his defense is since he's become more of an offensive option, which number one option, I get it. But his defense definitely not the same as before. But he still can pose issues on defensive end with his length, his hands, playing the pass lanes, gap defense. So we see, but we know Carlisle likes to protect that paint, man. So I'm also look. iHeart is another key matchup is going to help, especially against outside of Pascal, because Miles Turner likes to eat from outside. I've seen it a few games against the Bucks. He was trying to do his little post up moves in the paint and all that stuff. He had a few points here and there, but he likes to eat from the outside. That's his game. He don't like to play. That's what. So I one of those reasons why they got Pascal Siakam because Pascal will put his butt in the post and try to kill you from the post. So again, rebounding, like I said, is going to be a key factor tonight or in the series. iHeart and Mitchell Robinson. I love to see Mitchell Robinson. Now, Mitchell Robinson played great disruptor to Embiid many times in that first series. How does he play against in the series? Against, I think the rebound is going to be important. If he gets if he gets left outside on the outside against Miles Turner, again, one thing that kills Mitchell Robinson. Pick and pop, whether it's the Celtics, whether it's at times Embiid. Even I think I actually want to go back. I think he actually played better. But anytime it's a screen, Mitch Robinson plays drop back. He's a little bit late. The closeouts are poor. Um, so pick and pop with Miles Turner is going to be uber important. How Mitch Robinson plays defensively. And again, pressure Chua is going to be another key factor. Play his ass defensively. We need the tough rebounding, the putbacks, taking his opportunities. We're going to need a Chua tonight, bro. So again, like I said, Brunson versus Naismith, Dante DiVincenzo shooting, offensive rebounding, period. How do we protect the outside is going to be another important thing. Rotations is going to be uber important. Defensive rotations. As my brother, Coach Colorblocks would say, shell defense, protecting the outside. The Pacers can hurt you from there. Again, I know Obi's not whatever Obi, but Halliburton, who's fine playing off the ball. a little give back with Miles turn the top of the key. Little dribble handoffs and shooting a three. Knicks got to be an uber crisp on getting off the screen, shedding those screens, rotating on defense once they dribble, drive, penetrate. So it's not gonna be. I know people say Knicks in 4. I say Knicks in 6. I say Knicks in 6. I think the Pacers they could shock us a few games with the pace. I think Tom Thibodeau could be stubborn. If Tom Thibodeau doesn't have at least 8 guys playing, let's see if he plays Burks tonight. Ooh, I don't know about Burks, but you got to keep guys' legs fresh, right? Look, I would love a sweep in the ECF. Do you understand? Look, do you understand the history of this? Reggie Miller, Rick Smits, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, Mark Jackson playing over there, Jalen Rose trying to anger Patrick Ewing with a missed finger roll. Patrick Ewing with a putback dunk, I think it was in 95. I think it was a game 6, game 7 that we won. Reggie Miller, 8 points in 9 seconds doing a choke to Spike Lee. Do y'all remember these? 2012-13, Melo, the year that we were supposed to beat, and we were supposed to play the Miami Heat. We were either 2-1 or 3-1 against Miami Heat. Miami Heat was beating everybody that year except for Melo and the Knicks. We had Melo. We had a healthy knee Shumpert. One of the more underrated players, one of the more underrated Knicks players of all time. Pre-knee injury Shumpert. He's not getting enough love, man. Your man Mike Woodson, I would never forgive you for taking out your man Shumpert. I think he hit 2 threes in a row. And you took him out in game 5, whatever, the closeout game against the Pacers that year. But the Pacers Knicks got bad blood. Bad blood. It was always the farmers, the rural mother effers versus the city slickers. That's how they always position. I'm not saying nobody from insulting nobody, but that's how they always pose it to us. And I was at that game 3. Suta Pablo Prigioni, who's coaching for the Minnesota Timberwolves. My son, Pablo Prigioni, he won us at game 3 versus the Pacers. Go back and watch. Hit 2 big threes in that game. Controlled the offense, everything. So salute to Pablo Prigioni and the Wolves Denver Nuggets. Ooh! Ooh! Cheeto says Pacers in 6. Why you say Pacers in 6? Y'all didn't face nobody in the Bucks. Y'all didn't face nobody in the Bucks. Y'all didn't have a healthy Giannis. Y'all didn't have no healthy. I mean, Dame did this thing here, but he was hurt for a few games. So I think it was hurt game. The game they won, he was hurt. He was out. Y'all give him a lot of 3. Y'all give him a lot of shots too, man. Y'all give a lot of shots. When Miles Turner's out, hey, son, come on, dogs. But OG versus Pascal is going to be another key matchup. OG and Anunoby's defense is going to be paramount. Because, again, I think that the Pacers, look, Pascal provides them with a nice option, offset option to the motion offense they're running. I don't say offset, that's not the right word, but a nice compliment, I guess, would be the better word, to the motion offense where you can just slow it down, get him the ball, get some ugly points, get to the foul line. And when you need a go-to player, a so-called go-to player, you have your go-to player. Ben Matthew not being there that definitely helps us out. But another person, too, TJ Mother effing McConnell. Knicks gotta be careful with this dude. I hate this dude all my life in terms of his basketball game. I don't hate him personally. But Knicks gotta be uber careful. Again, our bench production is gonna be Miles McBride, Achua. Miles is gonna be uber important for you to score when guys are sitting down. And that's why I talk about if Burks is gonna be playing. But it's gonna be uber important because you got freaking TJ McConnell. You got another guy, Ben Shepherd from Belmont, could hit some big shots from outside. You got to defend Ben Shepherd, bro. He can hit some big shots from outside, bro. Obi Top as well, too. Last game, Doug McDermott didn't play many minutes. But Knicks got to be careful with their bench. We got to produce something from our bench. So, Burks, if you're playing, bro, I don't need bobblehead Burks. Oh, I lost the ball. I can't get it. No, bro, son, don't do that. Don't do that. If you don't have the dribbles, pass it out. Just reset, pick up the dribble, and just get it back to whoever the point guards or whoever's can operate with the ball in hands. That's why also, too, man, are they staggering the lineups a little bit better with Don? I want Dante to play a little bit more with those second units. I like him as a ball handler. I like him as an attacker. He does have a crazy green light at times, but I'd rather him than Burks being the key. That's one thing I like about Tibbs. Tibbs has to be able to expand a little bit in terms of what he runs, who he deploys, and who he uses his rotations at times. Bro, come on, man. You can't always wait until guys get injured or to change it up, to switch it up. That can't be the case. Guys, I gotta be out because my coworker's gonna bug me. He wants to leave at 6, even though I'm like, bro, we work right there. We're literally 2 stops. You get there at 6, you're gonna be there at 6:30 doing nothing. But I appreciate you guys. You know what, guys? For the people who are here in the chat, because you guys support me, and I know it's spur of the moment. And by the way, I gotta confirm tomorrow. Watch along party at Legends. I got people coming out. I need you guys to show out. Legends is gonna be good downstairs. I need you guys to show out at Legends. I already got my hotspot service boosted up, even though the guy at the AT&T jipped me, because I got 50 gigabytes of data. You don't even need that. Sim last time in his thing, he said I use less than 2 gigabytes. So the guy you got me at AT&T, I ain't gonna give you a tip. I'm gonna give you a 4 on your survey, because I asked you, do I need 50? He's like, oh, I always get the middle. What's it? Because it's 25, 50, and 100. You jipped me. So I might give you a 3 on that, because you jipped me. That ain't cool, bro. I asked you straight up, should I get 25 or 50? But we got the Wi-Fi. I got to confirm tomorrow with the people at Legends. I called them today, said call back tomorrow to speak to such and such, but you should be good. So please come out on Friday. Start at 6:30. I don't know if I can do a watch along. I'm going to do a pregame, postgame. I'm going to try to see if I do a watch along during the game. It's tough because they have a TV right above me, and then they play the sound, and I don't want to get in trouble. YouTube picks up everything. They pick up everything. So I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, so I may not do a watch along. I might just have the video running and reactions and drinking, having fun. But a lot of people are gonna be out, man. A lot of my peoples are gonna be out, so please come out. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'll also buy a few buckets of beer and stuff like that for you guys for the first come first. So I might constantly buying buckets. I'll buy a few buckets of beer. Yeah, enjoy. You know what I'm saying? On me. Oh, yeah, just gotta come out and enjoy, man. So suits everybody in the chat, man. I'll see you guys later. Peace, God bless. Let's go Knicks. Peace.